Aloha, my name is Philip Johnson. I'm a developer at GeoGarden Club, and I recently spent some time looking at a bunch of garden planning apps and wrote a Medium article about them. The link is in the description to this video. You can check that out, but I thought I'd spend just a few minutes creating a quick video to tell you about the major conclusions that I had from this process. So I looked at about 50 different apps, and I came up with around 20 criteria that I use to evaluate them. Not all apps are good for all situations or for all types of gardeners. For the details, you can look at the article. Right now, I'm just going to give you about 5 major takeaways that came out of this process. The first takeaway is that some apps are basically provided by seed companies or other kind of garden supply companies to help you shop at their storefront. So there'll be a garden planner on the front end where you might say, I want to plant some tomatoes, and that makes it really easy to order tomato seeds from that particular company. It's a great idea, makes your shopping experience really seamless. However, not all useful garden features are important for the seed vending experience, and so you may find that other apps may suit your needs better depending upon what your needs actually are. There's a more kind of disconcerting garden app out there where it's produced by an AI company, and what they're trying to do is provide a mechanism for you to provide data about yourself, which they are then going to use to learn about your preferences, maybe sell to other companies, and so forth. Unfortunately, it's hard to figure this out. You have to actually read the terms and conditions to see whether or not your data is going to be private or not, and maybe even look at the vendor's website to see what is the company that's actually producing the app. Some apps have very good data privacy policies, so it's not, there are good ones out there. GeoGarden Club is one of them, but make sure you read those terms and conditions. Another feature that's kind of important if you're into gardening for the long haul is the ability to export your data. Let's say after a few years you want to change your garden planning app. If you can't export your data, then you've either lost all the data that you provided before, or you have to start over and input it from scratch. So it's a nice feature to support data export. Some apps kind of view you as the only gardener in the world, and that is not the approach at GeoGarden Club, for example. We believe that gardening is a social activity that you can learn a lot from others, particularly those in your local community. And so we built our app with features that enable you to co-manage a garden or discover the garden plans being made by others in your neighborhood, and learn from your community. There are other apps out there that provide support for collaboration, but many don't. So be sure to check that feature out. Last takeaway is that AI, in our experience, is a bug, not a feature. Here's an example where the Growbot for a particular app insisted that the frost date for Kailua, Hawaii is May 16th. Kailua, Hawaii has not had a frost in 80 years. So you can imagine if it's getting the frost date wrong, how many other recommendations are going to be wrong. Our recommendation is don't get your advice from an AI. You should get your gardening advice from other humans, particularly other humans who are experienced gardeners. Here's the plug. We believe that our real best-in-class feature is our support for local knowledge and community building. So if you want to view gardening as a social activity, if you want to learn from others who are local to you, then GeoGarden Club is designed specifically to make that easy. If you want to learn more about how I came to these conclusions, there is the Medium article, and you can look at it there. Thanks very much.